For beginner wire wrappers, learning and perfecting and practicing this one skill until your fingers hurt is literally the best thing you can do.
So this little end might look easy and simple, but truthfully to do it neat and tidy and practice the proper technique to get these little tiny coils on the neck here and to do them nice and tight, there is actually a very specific skill and a very specific technique to get it that way. Let me show you how to do it. Okay, so to start, you're going to need your wire and your tools. So for today, I am using my 0.6 millimeter 22 gauge copper wire to practice. Definitely do not jump, both feet in with your solid sterling silver or gold-filled wire. Definitely practice this with just some cheap material. You can even use some aluminum or a different wire if you have on hand. Use whatever you got, nothing too hard, and that'll be your best place to start because literally we're just going to do this several times and cut it off and throw it out. You're not going to keep it. You're just going to keep practicing, okay? So one tip I'm going to show you here to start is that I always work on my spool. So even just with practicing here, I'm going to practice with the wire still attached to my spool. One of the reasons I do this is I usually will put my beads on first when I can so that I'm not wasting my wire down the line. So if eventually I do aspire to work with sterling silver or gold-filled wire, I'm utilizing the minimum amount of wire as I need. So what I mean by this is, say if you were making a simple pendant, you put on your 1 or 2 beads, and the technique that I teach in my projects moving forwards will show you how to do it on the spool. I mean, there's exceptions to this rule, but in this case, we're going to be working on the spool for most things that you'll learn in the beginning stages. And this will teach you how to conserve your wire. So if you are doing something like sterling, then you're not wasting that precious metal, which will cost you a lot. So if you can, practice with that spool. If you find it a little too tricky to start, take a good, foot, cut it off, and get started. But if possible, get working on practicing holding that spool or having it off to the side while you're doing this. First thing we're going to start with is our round nose pliers. So those are those rounded tongs at the top. We're going to grab on the wire about 1 inch from the end. So you'll notice that your tools are tapered. There is a thinner side and a thicker side. So eventually, this is something to keep in mind when you're making things like pendants versus, say, an earring. If you're doing an earring where you're attaching it to a jump ring or an earring hook, then you can work slightly more up or middle in your tong or your pliers. But if this is going to be the top bail of your pendant, be aware that it's best to be further up to the widest part of your tool so that you can actually fit a chain or something. If you're working way down itty bitty here, you're not actually going to fit a necklace through. So just a quick tip there too. So we're going to, just for practice, it doesn't matter, so stick in the middle somewhere. We're going to grab on with about 1 inch of wire on the end. What we're going to want to create is just a loop. So gently twist your wrist, then usually I'll open my tool, turn my tool, pinch again, and turn again. Open, pinch, turn. So we're just doing that motion until we get the wire stopped here. So you can see the wire now no longer can turn. I can't go any further with my tool. That's where you're going to want to stop. So you're going to wind up with one little loop and a wire short coming out one way, and then the long wire that either is cut off or attached to your spool. So this next part is the biggest thing that you're going to want to be very mindful of as you are making these wraps. So anybody, to make a quick coil, it's pretty easy, or sometimes people just really do it loosely and then they cover it a few times and they make it really wrapped around a bunch of times. You know what? Everyone has their technique and there's nothing wrong with that. If you do want a nice tidy look to it, then this is your technique to use. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is actually angles. We're going to get a little mathy here. So this tiny piece of wire and this long piece of wire, we're going to want to maintain at a right angle. So you can see right here, this small one and this big one are forming a right angle with each other. This angle is actually very important in order to get this wire to coil properly and tightly. If this wire starts to fall as you're wrapping, so I mean, I'm no math expert, but whatever angle that is, 45, as it drops down to a shorter angle like that, this wire is actually going to then spread, and that's where you're going to get that spread. And it's going to be like, say, if a spring was stretched out, you're going to get that open coil as opposed to a nice compressed tight coil. So as you're practicing it at all times, try to keep aware of where that wire is and just keep poking them up, poking them up, poking them up, because as you do it, you know, you're going to be focusing on your fingers and your technique, and it's easy to lose track of this guy, but he is your most important thing to keep your eyes on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put my tool back in. I just had that out for the sake of the example. And I'm just going to pull it back tight again because I was pushing it around everywhere. So now the next part you're going to be doing is coiling this little wire simply around the long wire, okay? There's two different ways that you can do this. My wire wound up on the back side here, and so you can then use your index finger and bend it forwards. A lot of times my hands prefer to bend it backwards, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that to the other side just for the sake of my own comfort of what my hands are used to doing. But if it is feeling more natural, try both ways if you like. For your index finger to be twirling towards you, then adjust the wire accordingly to be doing it that way. Do whatever feels most natural for your hands. For me, I like thumb out. And so I put the wire there in front. And so now I'm going to be slowly pushing between my thumb and my index finger. I'm letting them twirl between there. And I've created just a little quarter turn there. So you can see I still have my right angle. When you're doing this, try to go as slow as I am right now. Go nice and slow so you can maintain seeing that angle, getting the feel. Once your hands really get a feel for this, you'll be able to rip these out in no time flat. But to start, get the feel of it, get the practice, and then you can carry on to projects. So we're just now, my index finger is taking over, but then my thumb will take over. So as I'm going, I'm going to keep checking that I got that right angle, and I'm going to make my way around. So I did now just one full circle, and I still got that angle. So I'm going to do a couple turns a little bit quicker here. Sometimes this first part is a little bit hard because the corner of the tool gets in your way. Sometimes it's easier to turn a little bit more sideways, and you can get your thumb in a little bit tighter. So you can always just keep adjusting and playing with different angles to see what works best for your hands. Always maintaining that right angle. So you're just kind of letting it slide around. Now, one thing to note, you are not twisting these two wires around each other, okay? So you can immediately see the difference that created on my wire here. That's not what we're going for. We don't want these going around each other. We want this wire staying solid like it's a log or a pole, okay? And then we have our tiny little wire. That's the mobile one. That's the one that's doing all the turning. So this guy shouldn't move. It should stay coming out sideways. And this little guy is the one doing the grooving around. So, just to show you, I'll start with another piece here just to show you. If we change that angle, so I'm going to wrap a couple. And now, if we, getting over top of myself here. Sorry, I'm doing this quick and I can't see in the camera properly. Okay, so if we change the angle now, just to show you what happens so you can see the cause and effect as you're doing your own skill. I forget myself, my angle falls as I'm twisting. You can now see I'm not able to get those wires tight. So I'm always going to wind up with a gap while I'm twisting it with the improper angle. So as soon as you twist that up and you start turning around, it'll get so much easier to have it fall right exactly in line. Okay, so I'm just going to start fresh here once more, just to go over it just quickly again, and then it is best for you to then go ahead and just practice the snot out of these things, okay? Do as many until your fingers hurt or you feel confident in what you're doing. This can be a very different process for everyone. So if you nail this thing in 2, great, feel free to carry on. If this takes you 10 or 20, keep going. You will get it with practice, okay? Let your hands take over, get the flow, get the feel of it. So as I'm doing this, a lot of times I'm pulling on this wire just to kind of give it a bit of a smooth so I have no little kinks over here. Then I'm going to get in there so I did the turn, I got my right angle here, and now I'm going to begin turning around, and we're just going to keep doing that practice, turning and turning and turning. Once you feel good with this, you're going to get down to the end and you're going to have kind of this little pokey bit. Sometimes it's hard to capture on the camera, but I have this little loose end, okay? And that's something else you're going to want to practice as you go with this, because in any wire wrap piece, you're not going to want these pointy little ends. So you have 2 solutions, and usually I use a combination of both. But the first one is to take your flat nose snips, and particularly if you get the ones that have the flush backs, this will help you because they are completely flush. We do have some pairs sometimes that are tapered in a little bit, and then you won't be able to get quite as close. But be mindful if you have the tapered ones, or even the ones that, if you have the ones that are flat, or if you have ones that are a little tapered, always that shorter side towards your piece. You can see how this side has a big hole in it. You never want to put that side towards your piece. You want to stick that flat side towards in. Get in as close as you can and just snip that wire off as close down as you can. So this will do the majority of the work. Or say if you're coming back in and you're doing a pendant and you might be covering back over top of this, that is a fine solution. Sometimes it is better to actually fold this little guy down with your tool as opposed to just cutting it off, because cutting it off does leave a little bit of a burr. So I'm not going to clip it down, but you could clip it and then roll it down. Just for the sake of the video, it would be easier to show while I still have it. So I'm now no longer going to hold this side with a tool. I'm going to hold it with my fingers. So I think you can see, yeah, they're the little tiny pokey bit. I'm going to grab, not those, I'm going to grab my flat nose pliers, okay? That's the ones with the flat on the inside. And what we're going to do is essentially, you're going to want to tap and step around as you go. So you can see I'm not turning my finger at all. You never want to pinch and try and twist, okay? So if it kind of feels like it would be something that would hurt your finger, you don't want to do that. You want to be tapping and sliding your way around. So you're kind of just pushing it, and see how I'm just sliding it over top of my finger, but my finger's not turning. That's kind of the motion that you want to get while you're doing this. So you don't want to grab the whole thing and twist, because then you're actually twisting the whole head as opposed to just flattening that one little wire. So we're going to go ahead and go in and do that. So I'm pinching this with my fingers. Otherwise, with the two tools in there, it gets a little tight. So I tend to just use my fingers. And we're just going to go around, make sure you're going the right direction. Obviously, you don't want to be pushing away if your wire is coming towards you. So just be mindful of the direction, and you're going to just go tap, tap, tap. And as you roll around, whoop. And see, I can't, sorry. On my camera, things look backwards. So I'm going to turn around the other way here. So tap, tap, tap. Going to be my own hypocrite and go the wrong way. And so just kind of, you see how I'm just doing tiny little open and close motions just to make sure I'm also not shooting it out this way, okay? So you still have to be worried about that angle, even though the wire is short, because as you're doing this, that wire can go, as you squish it down, it can go sideways. So do those tiny little turns. Don't do it in one big false sweep, because now you can see I kind of angled my tool this way, and I can kind of come in and scoop it closer and tap it down, as opposed to just a straight down. So if it was leaning out, I can go tap, tap, bring it back on a bit of an angle like this, and keep adjusting as I go. So the more slower you go to start, the more you can get a feel for how that wire is going to tuck in. And that is the basics of how to do this little end. Now, this little end can be very versatile. First, we're gonna just tweak it up a little bit. And so if you want, like if while you're doing these things, the circle got a little mangled, you can go ahead in your round nose and just kind of wiggle it a little bit. That'll get your circle back again. If it's looking this way, a little kind of cockeyed and twisted, you can grab your flat nose pliers and simply give it just like a little pinch flat, and that'll straighten it out. You can then also come in on the bottom side and kind of straighten up this wire. Do whatever you like. You can play around with tweaking it. Like I said, I tend to use my thumb and my index finger, and I kind of rub the wire kind of on a slight angle, and that helps to smooth out any little grooves that are going on too. And now I have my little end. So next, let's discuss then some options of what you can fundamentally do with this thing. So one thing is, this is now the top for connecting to an earring, right? So you could put a hook through here if we had finished off having some beads on here. Obviously the finishing of all the beads I'll be showing in future videos. This was just all of my verbal diarrhea of being able to show you how to do that head. So that would be one thing, is that would be an earring hook. Another way is if we actually do two circles. I'll be covering this more in depth in a future video, but just to show you, if we actually do two circles and make our little end, then this actually becomes a really nice bail for a pendant. At least in my personal opinion, I like the thicker top to it. I've seen people do it actually with, you know, 3 or more little circles on the top if they want it a little bit thicker. So there is your bail top, okay? So that would be where your necklace would go through with both strings. And then another thing you can also use these for is if you make it double-sided. So if I had some beads in here and then I go ahead and I reverse and do it the opposite way, I can make a little link. And so this could be a part of a bracelet. It could be coming off of a necklace. You name it. There's so many different options you can do that utilize just this basic wrap. So if you imagine I had some beads in there, I now have a link. So yeah, I can't express enough how important I find personally when I've been teaching it is to learn and perfect this little tiny end. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a private message or drop a comment. Send me photos or a video if you like, if you're having any issues with it, and I will try and help you as best I can.